If I hide the topic, will a person reading the question guess this was a topic from the questions? Empathy is less about accommodation and tolerance. It's more about acceptance and respect. Curiosity, what lies beyond? Let's go and see. Introspection-based learning. The topic I teach are the topics in news. So last couple of days I was teaching urban problems, urban development, and we have urban floods. Before that, I was teaching on population, and we had a lot of articles on migrations. And that's why I told you I will not teach volcanism at all. Okay, so I will not risk it. Thanks for waiting. Acha, before I start the new discussion, so I'll just recap it a bit, okay? One of you was asking me, how do we use this content? It's like this. How to use it, you have to think and create the linkages. Now, that is an element of creativity. I can only give you the building blocks. I wish we had more time. I could demonstrate something more. I'll do that. I'm waiting to finish off maybe another 3 themes. Then we'll sit down and we will have one conversation on. I'll demonstrate on some topics, how do you put these ideas in your essays. But end of the discussion, it has to be your creativity. I have a topic with me. I have got 4 virtues I can talk around. Okay, and how do I link it? How do I generate that linkages? That's a creativity. And the smartest one is, if you can create a question, the answer to that question becomes your essay. How do forests symbolize courage, and how can that be a virtue in economic excellence? Seedha pucha aapne. Why is it important to see forests as a symbolic of driving virtues like forgiveness, forests as a symbolic of driving curiosity, and how that is integral part of any successful economic venture? अगर आपने एक क्वेश्चन फ्रेम कर दिया ना, say a river is flowing and you cannot step in the river twice. How does a river flow depict or symbolize the virtue of introspection? And how is that important part of our lives and something? So अगर आपने वो लिंक कर दिया कि river flowing, a river is deep, a river is slow, a river is constant. Therefore, these are the attributes of introspection. Introspection requires a gentle mind, a calm mind, a deep thinking. Again, therefore, it's a virtue of life and living and work. So, ये जो linkage है, one of the trick you can do is take up the keywords and see if the keywords or the key concepts can match with the ideas I'm giving you. Okay, so I'll talk about 3-4 virtues. जैसे कि मैंने शुरू किया था the virtue called courage. Then I was discussing this virtue called curiosity. और आपके essays में topic क्या है? The topic first one was forests and economic excellence. Another topic was that river. Okay, it can't step twice. एक और है harbor and sail. I can ask a question. Pick up a keyword from here. How does a ship sailing symbolize courage? And how the purpose of human life is courage? Straight question पूछो आप. How does a harbor and a ship's exploration say depict curiosity and exploration, and how the purpose of life should be exploration? Because see, ultimately, these are symbolisms, no? The ship, the tree, the forest, the river, the life, the death. The sun is shining. How does sun shining and mending the roof depict courage? And that's how you solve your problems thereafter. So whatever abstract topics you have, the keywords को आपको link करना होगा with some of the attributes. You have to link the keywords with some of the virtues. That's one way. The second way is, some of these virtues, I said, can be part of your solutions. Okay, that you want to deal with the problems of economic excellence or challenge of economic sustainability, we need courage. You start off there. So ये दो तरीका है. The smartest ones can be more, provided you have thought through a bit more creatively. The problem with us is we do not know where to start off, what to develop towards. I am giving the building blocks to you. So सोचो बैठ के See, one of the problems the students have is, जैसे हम देख रहे हैं in your mains preparation also, a common trend क्या है? You finish the foundation course and you jump into a test series. The gap is missing. So you have a foundation course, OGS ka ho, optional ka ho, any foundation course. You have done some notes, you have done some reading, and you directly jump into a test. See, these notes, these readings, they have to be internalized. They have to be built on. आपको इसके ऊपर बनाना पड़ेगा मकान. These notes, these current affairs, whatever you have, they have to be enriched further. And then you enter a test. So I will recommend कि essays का हो या GS का हो, don't randomly give tests. You must sit down and think on the topics. With all the tools I'm giving you, 4-5-6 class जो भी पढ़ाया मैंने, think on the topics, think on the themes, match with the topics. You must spend hours together a topic उठाकर, oh, this topic, what can the insight be? Or this topic, what can be the counter dimension? Or this topic, what value can I link it? This topic, what examples I will give? So that it's a very important key development. Or this topic, how can I link with courage? This topic, how do I link with curiosity? This thinking itself will take you 1 hour per topic. And once the jotting is done, the next step is try writing. So I'm okay. Some of you asked me, sir, can you check essays? I can. But then देखो, write the essay in the techniques I've taught you. Practice, not any random essay. One of you came to me, sir, I wrote an essay last year, आप वो देख लो. मैं कहा देख के मैं करूँगा क्या? I'm teaching one technique to you. You rather write a new technique first. So do that, it will work out. Shouldn't be a problem. I'll start off now. Okay, I will not teach much because I understand some of them are absent. But then let's give it to those who are present. लड़ मड़ के आके बैठे हुए हैं. And I have struggled through. So those who must miss, they will miss. Okay, the rest you will manage with the recordings maybe. Okay, let's start off. So our theme of discussion was curiosity and exploration. Curiosity and exploration. Okay, so some points I made that first I said is that curiosity is innate. ये हमारे अंदर होता है. It's innate. It's part of our evolution. It's part of our instinct. The right word is it is part of our instinct. Unlike I said, courage. Courage is something you build. Courage is something society आपको सिखा देता है. Okay, instinct is very much part of your own personality. It's instinct that you have of survival. That's one point. The second point I said was that curiosity is the basis of life evolution. If there was no curiosity, I would have no learning. So curiosity, जो है, it's part of learning. It's part of discovering. If you have got no curiosity, you cannot discover. That's why you can add something here. A very important aspect of curiosity, एक curiosity है, which is sensory curiosity. You feel like touching, you feel like listening, you feel like smelling something, you're curious. That is sensory curiosity. वो भी important है. Sensory curiosity is a very important part of knowing your environment. आप किस environment में है? Typically, you have seen children do that. They experience the environment that ways. एक और part है curiosity का. It is the intellectual and the cognitive curiosity. Now, if you look at human beings, okay, this is a very important differentiator. Intellectual cognitive curiosity, the ability to think. Now, we do not know if all animals can think. Some, of course, they do, but maybe not thinking in abstract terms. See, बहुत important quality of a man and human life है. Okay, that we can think abstractively. The abstraction, जो philosophy वाला है. Okay, I think that is a very important part of being human beings. Curiosity of the intellectual type, curiosity of the cognitive type, it's a very important part of the quality of being human being. That's why we say, without this, we can have no human development. We can have no civilizations. कोई भी civilization का एक बहुत important quality है. A civilization is oriented towards growth. A civilization is oriented towards developing. इनके art होते हैं, इनके literatures होते हैं. If I ask all of you, what are the symbols of civilization. Why do I say, okay, oh, this society jo hai, ye civilization hai. How do I say that? In a civilization, you will have trade. In a civilization, because you have trade, you also will have number systems. In civilizations, you will have literature. In civilizations, you will have a very distinct language with sophisticated communication means. When I say sophisticated, का मतलब है इस language में grammar हो जाएगा. So as grammar develops, okay, the area becomes civilization. Okay, literature and a script develop hota hai, then we say it's a civilization. Okay, in a civilization, we will have society, we'll have a society differentiation. So when I'm talking about curiosity, curiosity yahan par bahut important hai. Okay, how do you start trade? Only after you're curious about new places, curious about new locations, new people, new cultures. So I go back here. As I'm saying, intellectual curiosity hai. The intellectual curiosity is a very important part of abstract thinking. It's a very important part of any civilization. It's a very important part of any human development. It's part of growth, of art, of literature. In fact, if I stretch this, what is the main difference between a dogmatic society and progressive society? Main difference kya hai? Dogmatic society ka matlab kya hota hai? A society that is ruled by do's and don'ts and very strict norms. The do's and don'ts are almost at the level of your thinking. Okay, the governments, the people in power can stop you from thinking. Okay, they'll say, yahi right hai, nothing else. You can't question. That's a dogmatic society. Okay, think of what happened in societies jahan par extreme religion ye theological basis hai. The best example of this is perhaps Europe in the Dark Ages. This is also true for somewhere in recent last 100-200 years mein, the Arab world. And you can see this in the rise of cultural nationalism, where there is also rise of religious fundamentalism. Ye sare societies mein, okay, they have been very dogmatic. You can do this, you cannot do that. Think of our own ancient times. Say the rise of Buddhism and Jainism was partly because of dogmatism of Hinduism. Very strict norms. So who will do what type of role. So ye har culture ka yahi history raha hai. Our own ancient times, okay, that started the evolution of new thoughts, new philosophies. In fact, what was Bhakti movement about? What was your Sufi movement about? The Sufi movement, Bhakti movement were essentially challenging the dogmatic society. So by that logic, that one is a society jo rigid hai, okay, that is very strict in terms of what they do. Aur ek hai a progressive society. A society that is more permissible, a society that is more accepting, a society जो ज़्यादा experiment करता है, सोचता है, okay, it is respectful of diversity. Now, this is only possible when you are curious, when you can explore, when you can be curious. Okay, so on one hand, I'm saying the curiosity is the basis of learning. Then we say curiosity is also the basis of a progressive modern society. I mean, I don't know if you have read this or not. There's this idea that travel is the best education. Why do we say that? Because what travel does travel feeds our curiosity. Okay, travel kind of ignites our inquisitiveness. Okay, you will not travel. Say, ek to hota travel, I'm taking a vacation, chutti le rahe from break. Or ek hota travel where you really want to see people, you want to see a society, you want to see diversity. If I see travel as an experience, this is nothing but curiosity. Now, when government of India is promoting rural tourism or forest tourism, okay, or talk about your health tourism, wo to ek alag hi dimension ho gaya. But rural ecotourism, village tourism, handicraft tourism, ये सब experience वाला ही होता है. Come and experience the way we live, the way we survive. That's around the virtue of curiosity. So I go back. I said, in curiosity, a very important aspect is the intellectual and the cognitive. एक और virtue आता है. Okay, now see, curiosity is in some ways very much linked to a risk-taking ability. I've mapped curiosity and human development and civilizations. I've mapped curiosity and progress society. I'm mapping कर रहे हैं, okay? तो कहाँ use कर सकते हो? Curiosity and education, curiosity and I said life and evolution, curiosity and civilization, curiosity and progressive society. Curiosity is the basis of being human itself. You are not the human species जो intellectual है without curiosity. So curiosity is a symbolic of all of these things. Okay, it symbolizes growth and so on. अच्छा, ये एक और angle है. Curiosity has an element of risk taking. Curiosity, it has an element of uncertainty. हम जो बात करते हैं ना virtues of teaching new skills, say what will survive or what will manage in the world of future are not traditional skills. God knows, ChatGPT types, ChatGPT 4 and God knows what version will be out by the time another 5-6 years के अंदर में. So the kind of development we have in technology, lot of things which are taken for granted today will go obsolete. नए jobs होंगे, नए skills जरूरत हैं. So what are the 2-3 most important skills that we need to teach for children of the future? A very important skill is your relationship skills. Okay, that's an important skill. How to work in team, people, managing emotions. A second important skill is teaching people to survive ambiguity. This is so much identified with all of us, probably, not just you, even me for that matter. हमारे life में एक बहुत strong element of distress है uncertainty. Okay, I mean, yesterday itself somebody came to me, sir, I'm preparing for next year, but sir, I want to have a plan B ready. मैं कहा, ये plan B क्या होता है आपका? Okay, and why at this stage of your life, why do you want a plan B? And for heaven's sake, tell me somebody who has planned for plan B and has succeeded in plan A. आप plan A कर नहीं रहे हो, plan B सोच रहे हो. जब plan B में घुसे को, you will require another plan C for that matter, or plan B of plan B. So ये बहुत important stress factor हमारे लिए. Like, why? Because we do not have the skills, or we have been not taught how to maneuver in ambiguity and uncertainty. A common term we all of us are used to is, sir, we want stability. Okay, so sir, एक job तो हो जाए, I'll have stability. So state service दे देता हूँ and have stability. Again, that stability is where you get into a trap. फिर बाहर नहीं निकल पाते हैं. Okay, sir, get me a small job, I'll have some stability. So if I'm teaching the skills for the next generation, ये 2-3 बहुत important skills हैं. One is, I said, the skills in social settings, the skills which are about interpersonal skills. कि आप लोगों के साथ कैसे manage करें. Okay, that's one. And second, because of the grind, there is a frustration, there's some bit of anger, and there's some bit of restlessness to acquire things quickly. This will not work in corporate. So they either have to change the mindset completely, कि बाहर का दुनिया बहुत अलग है और अलग type का काम करना पड़ेगा, and there is in general, okay, a feeling that they are superior than the others. I put them in a process, okay, वो किसी की बात ही नहीं सुन रहे हैं. It's like they know it all. Why? Because they know polity, they know history, they know geography, they know current affairs. Okay, it's like they know the entire system. It's a very powerful statement. And believe me, I am struggling with that in my team. In my team, if you ask me, the team that has struggled the most is my academic team. Because it's a mercenary world. सब अकेला अकेला काम कर रहा है. साथ बैठ के डिस्कस कर लो, टीम बना लो. Let's write some notes together. Everybody is an individual person. So that is a very important skill that आपको सीखना होगा अगर आपको, और trust me, you get into the job, you need a team spirit working. You can't survive. अकेले अकेले रहेंगे आप फंसेंगे आप. So ये जो हम बात कर रहे हैं about the skills of working in a team is a very high skill where you have to be tolerant, you have to be respectful, you have to be accommodative, you also have to have humility. You'll have to be accepting of the fact that there are people out there who are better than me. And that's only possible agar aap curious hai, genuine sense mein, to know what lies beyond you. So I say, how do I put curiosity in education? Education ka maksad is not simply to get you good in terms of one skill. It's about a mindset thing. Aur us mindset mein, okay, a very important mindset is, okay, number one, I said, working in a team, working in a group. And working in team and group is very important that you learn to accept there are virtues beyond you. And this requires curiosity. The typical society mein hota hai na, dogmatic society hota hai hamara. It becomes dogmatic as a person also. I know it all. That's one. Second is the ability to maneuver in uncertainty, the ability to maneuver in ambiguity, to maneuver in things which are predictable. और ये दोनों चीज के लिए we need curiosity, because curiosity में there is a very strong element of, I said, risk taking. I hope you got the point how I'm linking the topic here. So अगर आपके पास education का topic है, development का topic है, society culture का topic है, you can bring in curiosity. The first point here is that, give a heading, curiosity and risk taking. First point is a very important aspect of life goals, development and maturity are the virtues of, number one, the ability to navigate, survive and manage. The ability to navigate, survive and manage in uncertainty and in ambiguity. Next point, easy discussion, next point. The more complex life becomes, more will its unpredictability be. To manage this, we need a risk-taking ability, an ability to make mistakes and yet explore, an ability to search for solutions, the ability of exploring, the ability of taking risks, the ability of innovations. These qualities are possible only if one has curiosity, curiosity to experiment, and the intellect to course correct and learn from experiences. And very important, कि ये हमारा ना nature है. Okay, every child learns by this. He's curious. How does a cycle work? वो बैठेगा, गिरेगा, चोट लगेगा, he learns cycling. A child is curious. Okay, what does a flame look like? Like, what does it feel near the stove? जितना मना करोगे वो आग के पास उतना ज्यादा आएगा, right? Till he burns his hand and then he knows, okay, now this is not something I must mess with. ये हमारा nature है. Okay, so curiosity is the basis of, I said, innovations. If you don't explore, if you don't experiment, you can't learn anything. That's why curiosity is linked to civilization's growth. I mean, see, though we talk about Christopher Columbus, but there may be hundreds of them who tried and failed. We talk about Vasco da Gama, there are hundreds of them who must have tried and failed. Okay, think of the British or the French or the Portuguese. They came out and they ruled world because of curiosity, what lies beyond and what options do we have. So comforts में ना ये सब नहीं होता. Comfort में आप अपने घर में हो, you have your water, you have your land, you have agriculture, your parivar, your value systems, you're happy there. Till somebody comes and conquers you. Okay, so curiosity is the basis of expansion. That's my point. It's the basis of growing, and for that you need to have a risk-taking ability. So I'm trying to link it. Therefore, curiosity is the fundamental of true education. I'm teaching this to you. I recall words of my teacher. He said, the best teacher is who can incite interest in a child to study on his own, so that the teacher then becomes redundant. अगर मैंने बच्चे में वो curiosity पैदा कर दिया कि go search for yourself, then तो your work is done. The teacher is happy retiring कि अब तो आप अपने आप हो चुके हो. You know, it's often told about Alexander. And by the way, you know, these can be part of your notes. Okay, the teaching is successful if it can inspire curiosity. Teaching is not when the course gets completed. Teaching is when a child is empowered to explore, to search. a child is curious enough, okay, to look for answers, तब education बोलते हैं complete. इसका example है Alexander and Aristotle. It's often said that Alexander, although we call him as a conqueror, he actually was not a conqueror. Why? Because he did not keep any land with him. वो जाते थे, okay, first tell, I want to take over. You don't agree, he'll fight you. Okay, he will defeat you. Then give you back your land and then move on. A very strange behavior Alexander had. And he went as far as, okay, north in Kazakhstan, एक जगह है Almaty. Almaty is a short form of Alexander Altima, the northernmost point, जहां तक Alexander गए. And imagine, Greece से, okay, you have crossed over the Bosphorus into parts of Turkey, in Central Asia, right up to Kazakhstan. And the question is, why did he do that? Some people say it's because of his teacher Aristotle. Aristotle's philosophy was, go and see. Don't come and bat यहाँ पर ज्ञान philosophy मत दो मुझे. आप जाके देख के आओ. Is the earth round? Go and see. Does the ocean end here? Go and see. Who are the people who live there? Go and see. Whether there is resource there, he says, go and see. So Aristotle का philosophy था, go and see principle. Okay, all knowledge comes from experiencing things. And it said Aristotle inspired him कि जाके दुनिया देख के आओ, what is the world beyond, okay, what we know. So Alexander's, okay, expeditions were more an act of curiosity rather than an act of, okay, conquest. Rather than an act of conquest. And see, the same thing applies to some of these colony builders also. See, when Spain and Portugal and when Britain started off, it actually was, let's trade, let's make money, curiosity, what lies beyond, let's go and see. और किससे पैसे बनेंगे हमारे. The day they converted their trade ambitions into political supremacy ambitions, वहीं से decline शुरू होता है उन लोगों का. Okay, I mean, we had a small conversation yesterday with one of the team members. When the Portuguese came to India in 1498, the British Battle of Plassey, almost 150 साल के बाद हो रहा है आपका, right? Portuguese were unchallenged for almost 100 years. The rise of, by the way, I'll suggest, you know, सब लिखते रहो, please. ये important. I'm not discussing for sake of discussing, okay? I want this to be your fodder for your essays. Examples कहाँ से लेके आते हैं आप लोग? So be alert. Okay, I'm not saying write down verbatim every word, but keep an eye on this. If you look at history of India, okay, Southeast Asia, the rise of the British Empire ho, या rise of East India Company जो भी है, it all happens after 1707-9, because two things happen. At that time, the Marathas start decline, okay, and then the Mughals, they start declining. And these two were kind of the power centers of North and the West. Or West में पूरा West नहीं, the Northwest. Marathas have gone north towards Rajasthan. Southern India was totally in a disarray. Southern India, see, this process of consolidation, ये कब शुरू होता है? Only after Akbar. 1526 is Babur, Humayun. The consolidation starts only after Akbar. And they become a massive power. And it was much later again, okay, that we have Shivaji, right? So think about 1300s, 1400s and 1500s mein, India was an open area. Anybody could come and take us. 1300s in Deccan region is Bahmani empires. And Bahmani empire is small kingdoms. Okay, Golconda, Bijapur, Bidar and the rest. So if you look at the political circumstances, Portuguese were at the just right time. 1498, okay, is the very right time for them to take over India. And unka ambitions was the entire west coast of India, because south ban gaya Calicut. Okay, Goa was taken from the Bijapur kingdom, Bahadur Shah, and Diu was taken. Okay, the Daman Div, Goa and the Calicut, एक arc ban gaya इनके पास में, and India के अंदर में they had no challenge. So it was very much possible for them that they could have conquered. They could have taken over completely. But हुआ क्यों नहीं? Why did the Portuguese lose out बल्कि इंग्लिश उसके बाद it was almost blank face until English come in again 1700 में. One big reason was that they gave up the trade and curiosity कि क्या lies beyond. They kind of gave up. Their ambition was the political domination, and political domination में again they start talking about religion, conversions. They talk about the British system of administration. Trade, curiosity took a backseat. The same happens in case of the Arabs also. As long as the Arabs were curious, आगे क्या है देखते हैं. Can we trade? Can we grow or not? Arabs expanded. Arabs came to India, 1000 AD, right? Muhammad bin Qasim की बात हो रही है. The point is, civilizations that focus on curiosity, growth, expansion in terms of trade, they have dominated. But जहां पर game changes from curiosity towards control, that's when the decline starts. Have we got the point here? The influence of Ashoka was not so much in terms of his power, it was more in terms of his teaching and wisdom. That was very powerful one. But जहां आपका shift होता है towards religion, dominance, where curiosity takes a back seat, आपका होगा decline. और यही हुआ with modern empire हुआ, यही हुआ with the Portuguese, and the same with British also. The British decline starts from the late 19th century. 1850 onward, the decline starts. 1900 tak to they are being challenged terribly in India. Lord Curzon is where I think you can see it happening. So our discussion point here is how curiosity is the basis of all knowledge. Curiosity is the basis of expansion. Curiosity is the basis of influence and not power directly. अगर आप ये appreciate कर पाएंगे, you know the importance of curiosity, risk taking, and ability of navigating uncertainty. It's a very important skill that we learn. Example मैंने बताया आपको through Alexander, example through the kingdoms that we have seen. That's one. Second is curiosity का एक important dimension है that we are open to new ideas and risks and also accept that new ideas, we take risks, we accept the diversity, and that becomes the basis of respecting cultures also. That becomes the basis of respecting thinking also, and that is team building. So I'm linking, अगर future में आपको कोई skill किसी बच्चे को देना है as a part of education system, if you want a society to become vibrant and robust and resilient, if you want a governance system to be resilient, आपको ये दोनों skills चाहिए, and for that I need curiosity. A government के level में काम करेगा. A government must be curious about new solutions, new options. A government must be curious about building connections, building diplomatic relationships. You need to be curious. So I'm establishing curiosity as a very important attribute of any future true growth and expansion. Is it okay, all of you now? आप बोले कहाँ link हो सकता है? Culture, education, diplomacy, link it with personal growth, social growth. Take all of you. So curiosity and uncertainty. And if you know about our times we live in, we talk about entrepreneurship, no? You cannot have entrepreneurship without risk taking. You cannot have entrepreneurship without having the ability of navigating in uncertainty. जो हम courage की बात करते हैं ना, ये courage is very, very synonymous with the ability of driving curiosity. Now, one, I will not say a pitfall, but definitely a challenge, that curiosity has to be channeled. Now, see, when I say channeled, I don't mean controlled. जहाँ control करोगे, you will move towards dogmatism. Curiosity must be channeled. Means there must be some type of direction. There must be some type of a process, not random. Random में क्या होगा? You lose energy, you lose time, you make mistakes you can't recover from. But there must be some type of direction and process होना चाहिए. They see companies talk about a virtue called as being agile. ये term सुना है आपने? We are an agile company. What's agile? Try fast, fail fast, learn fast, and try again. Agile. You cannot get trapped in not just first movers. It's about quick, dramatic adoption, change, learning, small, nimble teams. फटाफट change करेंगे ये लोग. Agility का ये बहुत important component है. Agility is about risk taking. It's about quick learning. And both of this around curiosity. So curiosity, entrepreneurship, curiosity, education, curiosity, social skills. But curiosity needs some direction. It requires a process. Curiosity, maybe skills chahiye. Okay, we need to have skills. And somewhere that is what we want to encourage in our new education policies. The approach hai na, multidisciplinary, you can transfer the credit. That's an element of developing a process or a method to foster the culture of curiosity. From this, एक concept आता है that there must be some type of, you can say, checks, particularly for the vulnerable age and for the vulnerable people. Think of what can curiosity do if a child gets into a wrong YouTube channel, what it can do if he or she befriends the dark web elements. Curiosity can sometimes lead to malware. Curiosity and phishing. आपने click कर दिया, you are gone. Your phone is locked out. ठीक है? So ये एक dimension है. Okay. But remember, please don't promote the idea of censorship यहाँ पर. There's a very thin line. What do we mean by adequate checks, balances, monitoring? And what do I mean by censorship? Censorship becomes dogmatic. हमें पता होना चाहिए कि बच्चे को कितना हम छूट दें कि चलो ठीक है mistake करो, let's see what happens, I'm there. But only as much as the child does not have a lifelong trauma. So curiosity का वो एक dimension है. Don't overplay this, but keep it in mind. एक flip side है, because I said, no, in nature we are curious. In nature, because we are curious, we are more tempted to get into the taboos. आप जहां बच्चे को बोलोगे मत करो, वो पक्का वही करने वाला है. It's not disobedience, remember this. अच्छा, ये एक discussion point है. Curiosity and exploration. This will be about charting unconventional. It's about charting. It's about tracing unconventional options. But this is not same as defiance. It is not necessarily same as rebellion. Again, it's a very narrow line to work on. But just know this. So just because somebody is curious and does something different, does not mean he is immoral. This is not necessarily immoral. And I think one of the very tricky issues is sexual. You are being curious sexually. और इसके अपने pitfalls हैं. So in your hands essay, don't give solutions here. Just say that this is tricky area. We don't have answers to this, but this is a point in consideration. वो unfortunate event था ना, that girl, teenager who got pregnant and the court has been delaying the abortion. अभी कुछ दिन पहले news में था, a month ago I think, and I think it was 23, 24 weeks का pregnancy हो चुका था, 25 हो चुका था, and the court said हम दोबारा बैठेंगे and सोचेंगे whatever. Okay, it's very unfortunate. Because see, देखो, these are issues, again, a typical dogmatism है. It's a girl, it can be boy, anybody. Adolescents and teenagers, and there is curiosity. Okay, there are definitely hormones working at a different level. Okay, and you have some acts, the consequence of which was she got pregnant. Unfortunately, our society doesn't accept that. But the whole act of, जैसे judgment को stretch किया गया and come to a position, now we know it's a healthy thing. We can't allow it. You kind of have branded the girl as an immoral girl now. And all consequence of some curiosity, all consequence of some exploration. So sexual curiosity it's an important issue. कितना permit होगा, कितना नहीं होगा. It impacts health, physical, it impacts mental health. So ये एक dimension है. Make sure you treat it very sensitively. But please do not see this as immoral acts. Immoral, जो हम otherwise बोलते हैं, sexual deviations. Why just West and East? Don't brand it West or East. Just say that we can be a bit more understanding to what's happening around us. ऐसा नहीं है कि West भी बहुत liberal है, ऐसा भी नहीं है. You have to see drum to know the levels of misogynist attitude he can talk about. Like Ireland अब permit कर रहा है. ऐसा नहीं है कि West is all liberty, ऐसा भी नहीं है. Okay, but yes, definitely, given the Asian cultures, they probably are relatively a bit more permissible in some issues. But doesn't mean that there's a standard there. In fact, I know of people who tell me the Americans and English are far more conservative than what we think about them. Khaskar English and Europeans are very, very conservative. Okay, their society, their norms. So आप अपने essay में भी acknowledge this thing कि भाई ये मुश्किल काम है. Okay, but let's be cognizant about the fact कि in the name of protecting children from maybe some of these ills, we can't ban them into all type of acts. Counseling चाहिए, बात करना है, और फिर भी गलतियां होती हैं तो find solution towards it. Okay, but it cannot be banning curiosity. I hope you got the point, all of you here. So in curiosity, ये एक area है, okay, where you have to trend a bit more careful. At least let the reader know that you have thought about this, even if you have no answers. So all the while I'm talking about positives, I put one dimension here to be careful. Some areas में, okay, curiosity can actually be dangerous. Khaskar in the young impersonal age where the society is such that they can get exploited. So ये दो area, sexual exploitation or maybe misdeeds which can harm mentally and physically. And the second is, of course, the substance abuse. ये दो areas में, okay, we have to be careful. So be careful about curiosity. Particularly, I said, impersonable age, an age where we can easily be influenced. So in those young age, adolescent age mein, khaskar I said, the substance abuse thing and the sexual curiosity thing. We have to be careful. But please, these mistakes should not be equal to immorality. Okay, आप उनको जिंदा जमीन में गाड़ नहीं सकते because they've done it. So be careful. Like हमारे writings में ना we get too righteous. Okay, righteous. I hope you know it's not the right thing to do. Righteous is about the strong stubborn lines. ये right है वो wrong है और जो भी wrong है वो immoral है. जो सारी immoral को जला दो. The righteousness is a very bad quality. You must not be righteous. In fact, that's the problem that dogmatic thinking people do. They're too righteous. Okay, बाकी सब evil है. And this is what is a virtue. Okay, rest all can be. They're all sinners. Okay, kill them if you can. ठीक है. ये कहावत है ना, curiosity kill the cat. अब वो boundary कहाँ है? That's our question. Curiosity because it is development, because it is solutions, because it is innovations. So curiosity is also an important element of quality of life in two ways. One is because you have solutions, you definitely have better amenities. So curiosity is all inventions, better amenities, better technology, and so on. This is what is better a physical world. But then, because curiosity is about freedom of thinking, it's also about intellectual liberty. And that's why this also is quality of life. You're not allowing a person to think and explore is a kind of mental slavery. So I won't be surprised if your human development indices, okay, up to they're talking about happiness, right? I won't be surprised if they include this element also. A measure of a society's ability to encourage curiosity. Will be important measure of your mental liberty hai. Yeah, all good here? Now I'll give you some examples of this. एक तो आपको 2-3 example दे दिया मैंने, histories and all of that. Do you know what is Sistine Chapel? What is the Sistine Chapel? Nobody has heard this? Know this, okay? And go back and do a bit of searching, okay? It's also about curiosity. Yes, so Vatican City का जो main church है is called as the Sistine Chapel. And who has painted all of that? Any idea? It is Michelangelo. And the very famous painting is that creation wala, the creation of Adam. वो देखा होगा आपने? There is one character, the finger ऐसे है, the other finger is like. Unfortunately, I couldn't take the printout. Okay, maybe I'll show it tomorrow. You have seen that, no? It's called as the painting of Adam's creation. Okay, on the chapel ke roof mein, the dome mein, okay, there is a character here with a finger like this, another character here, finger like this. Okay, and it's called as the painting of Adam's creation. Go back and have a look at that. Okay, Michelangelo's. उसमें जो figure है ना, on one side there is this one finger, और एक side में there is a person finger and something else also here. ऐसे shape में there are lot of angels are here, lot of characters are here. ऐसे कुछ बना हुआ है यहाँ पर. I mean just hinting, आपको कैसे use करना है वो बाद में आएगा. Just know this. I can show this. This is God with all the angels and the rest, and this is Adam. This is called as the Adam's creation. Well, famous. I'm sure some of you have seen this, but didn't know what it was. This is on the roof of the Sistine Chapel. Now, if you look at this one, if you look at this diagram here, ये diagram दिख रहा है ना आपको ये वाला? This one here, this boundary जो है ये वाला. Many people have wondered कि what is this boundary? There's no such boundary here, and then they mapped it. This boundary is the shape of human brain. So there was then discussion. Why did Michelangelo draw the outline of a brain with God inside that? ठीक है, ये question है. And no, Michelangelo हो या Leonardo da Vinci हो, okay, they were into study of human anatomy. Michelangelo because he wanted to make very perfect sculptures and the muscles you can see. इनके painting देखो ना, every body part is so well proportionate. It is not a simple painting. It's like he is trying to depict the exact contours of human body. And to do that, he would study cadaver, dead bodies. हर muscle को पढ़ते थे. There are some muscles of the arms, okay, which are impossible to draw if you do not know they exist. Okay, I mean, it's just so detailed. I'm देखेंगे not a single muscle is out of place here. So he was an anatomist. And because he was an anatomist, he knew what a brain looks like. And he has drawn this. Then a question आया कि why did he do this in the chapel? The answer is कि somewhere these guys were rebels. He's living in time of Renaissance. Understand this? Yeah? Renaissance का time है. Renaissance where art and culture is challenging the dogmatism of the church. Like art and culture is challenging Christian beliefs. तो ये बहुत subtle एक hint है that what creates man, God का तो पता नहीं, but definitely mind. जैसे unfortunate ना हम लोगों के पढ़ाई में हम लोग कभी art में initiate नहीं हुए हैं, which I think you should try. If you have to become a complete person who can think, who can talk, कुछ art forms आपको पता होना चाहिए. There's a very famous painting because of that. It is not simply like a painting which looks beautiful. It's a message. These art forms are message. These art forms are driving some debates home. So इस painting का ये एक version है that Michelangelo is not seeing God the way Christianity or Vatican City is seeing it. He's seeing God more in terms of human mind, intellect, and that creates man. It's a very powerful analogy. अभी तो maybe if you can search and show that to me. Michelangelo, Adam and brain. देखो दिखा देगा आपको बनाकर. The stem of the brain, पूरा parts, and every part is, now you know कि this is not an ordinary mind. The stem of spinal cord भी दिख रहा है, वो पूरा label भी है. It cannot be a coincidence. इतना accurate depiction can't be a coincidence. Got it, all of you? That's telling us what intellect, curiosity, learning can do. A very powerful depiction of who we are as people are not always the creation the way we think we are created. We are human beings because of we are the creations of our curiosity. We are the products of our thinking, our mind. अब इसको सोचिए आप कैसे यूज करेंगे, कहाँ यूज करना चाह रहे हैं. That is one depiction. एक और depiction भी है, curiosity and man in terms of, again, biblical reference mein. You know, the story of Adam and Eve, right? You've heard about it, where Eve got curious about the apple, and that's where the whole story starts. She's curious, then she gets tempted, and then Adam eats, and so on. So some say that this story is also is a symbolism of that it is curiosity, maybe temptation, if you can see that, is the source of whatever we have around us. The story of earth and human beings, biblical stories mein, like, it's curiosity. One is this movie called as Gods Must Be Crazy. मैंने पहले भी कहा है आप लोगों को शायद. A movie called Gods Must Be Crazy. Essentially, a plane is flying over the Kalahari Desert. Kalahari Desert has some of the most backward tribes. Backward, wrong word. Maybe it's not as mainstream as we are. So they live in Kalahari very sustainably. They collect water from the leaves of the trees and they drink that into nature. They hunt only what's important. It's a very, very typical tribe and sustainable living. They live as groups. जिसमें सब कुछ shared होता है. Everything is shared. There are no fights, no kings. The Kalahari Bushmen बोलते हैं उनको. The Kalahari Bushmen. So a plane is flying on top, and the plane में somebody drinks a Coke bottle and throws it. Okay, it falls from the plane. It falls in the Kalahari Desert. It falls, and one of the tribal guys walking and doing whatever, he discovers the bottle. He does not know what it is. That's where his curiosity starts. Okay, पूरा कहानी इसी पे है. He takes a bottle. And पहले they do not know what they're like. They're sitting in the entire tribe watching. What is it? They've not seen a bottle, right? And they realize it can be put to many uses. Some of them start making music out of the. Some of them use it to prepare that. They make some cloth weaving. They use the bottle to smoothen the surface. They play drums. Something that they did not know existed. Something that they did not know, okay, was in any case important, now becomes the most important thing for them. Everybody wants it. A society that has not fought, that lives together, there's no possession, there is no property, there's no ownership. And this bottle becomes the basis of all the fights. And finally, one of the tribal guys says, enough is enough. This bottle was sent to us by God to test us. So we are now tested. The work is done. The bottle is an evil bottle. And I must go and give it back to God and throw it at the end of the earth. And he starts his journey. But a movie is about that. How he's walking, he sees people, fights. God knows the entire story. So essentially saying, again, how curiosity about a bottle can start off the entire chain of events. आप इसको कैसे लिखेंगे? That's your choice. So in your essays, if you can map it to some history, some art forms, some movies, some paintings, some songs, link it to some literature, some writing, you're on. Curiosity and exploration is a very powerful theme in Anne Frank's diary. The girl who died in the Nazi camp, okay, young girl who is in her adolescence, with extraordinary maturity, okay, but then she has elements of curiosity. She's discovering relationships, discovering things around her. So what be part of the essentially element here is that curiosity is a very important part of growing up. That's one example. एक और example है, I forget the writer's name. The book's name is Who Moved My Cheese? I'll recommend आप इसको पढ़ें. Who Moved My Cheese? A story about two rats, and there is a cheese, and for some reason the cheese gets misplaced. So one rat is very upset about that. कि मेरे यहाँ पर cheese था, अब वो कहाँ गया? And he's upset, tantrums, whatever. Okay, and he can't think anything else. He is sad. And the other guy starts exploring. कहाँ गया मेरा cheese? And in the process, he discovers new things, new options. And the other guy, जो एकदम दुखी था, गुस्सा था, angry था, okay, he dies. The other guy grows, he finds something better, okay, than what he had lost. The story is about that human life is all about new things and explorations. If you keep craving for the old things and you keep craving for comfort, you will die. You must explore, find new things, discover new things, and you achieve something. उसमें mistakes भी होंगे, उसमें गलतियां भी होंगी, उसमें चोट भी लगेगा. Who moved my cheese? Curiosity. And I think the other book I have mentioned to you, right? Jonathan Livingstone Seagull बताया आपको. They're very small books. They're very powerful, motivating books. These books can be read in one day. मैं कहता हूँ अभी पढ़ना पढ़ लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. It's a very motivating book. Okay, I mentioned that book called as Notes to Myself. These 4 or 5 books को अगर आप थोड़ा पढ़ लेते हैं, you know what they are. At least go into Wikipedia and read what is it about, if nothing else. तो आप उसके बारे में लिख सकते हो. ये बहुत जगह काम आ जाएगा. So I mapped it. See, that's what essay is. Write things which can excite a reader. कि पढ़ के मजा आना चाहिए. यार क्या बोल गया यार, wonderful. If you can link things, okay, with things otherwise people miss out. वही otherwise क्या है ना, पूरा essay becomes a boring ज्ञान. Technology, political, economic, social, ecological, okay, it becomes total nonsense ज्ञान. We can relate it with movies, stories, paintings, tell them new. It's exciting. At least you all can see, you are learning something from what I'm discussing, and I'm sure you would like to hear a bit more of that. So essay भी वही है. Okay, I see the essay as a self-promotion exercise. You're marketing yourself. I'm a smart guy, I'm an intelligent man, I can think deep, I can think different, I know a lot of things, I can relate to it. Okay, and essay is where I'm writing it down. And all of this I need for a good, round, well-developed personality. Okay? So the points are not on how many points you have. Your marks are on how well you treat those dimensions. Interesting hai ya nahi? Are they deep enough or not? So curiosity, okay, education, curiosity. It says, there's this research that it says curious people are more alive. Curiosity is well-being. Curiosity is part of forming memories. One quotation लिख लें आप. Albert Einstein says, I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious. There is this quote by Todd Kashdan. He's a writer in psychology. T-O-D-D, Todd, K-A-S-H-D-A-N, Todd Kashdan, K-A-S-H-D-A-N, Kashdan. Without curiosity, stagnation is inevitable. Without curiosity, stagnation is inevitable. So allow me to do essay 2-3 themes, and then I'll tell you with examples how the topics could have been mapped. Okay, it'll take you some time, but we'll do that. Okay? Thanks all of you. Bye.